Hello, everyone. It is Monday. I almost said Tuesday. We just switched to Mondays. Monday, July 18th. Welcome to our wonderful weekly Zoom call with the team. I look forward to these. I really do. It's just such a nice time to connect. And I am so excited that I'm going to be seeing so many of you live in about, 3 weeks? Holy smokes. That just seems crazy. So very exciting. So as always, we start out with victories and gratitude. So who will go first?
I'll go, Steph.
All right.
So I finally did my live chat today.
Yay, Paul!
During my Isagenix story, so that was good. Really excited about it.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're here to tell the tale.
Exactly, right? I didn't die. I didn't stop breathing. Exactly.
You're not in ER. Everything's
No.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So how did it feel?
It actually, at first I was nervous, rehearsing it and whatnot, and then I just kind of calmed down and said, look, just talk about it as if you talk with a friend about it. And so that's what I did. I just sat down there and started doing it, and it just felt really natural. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I'm in a program with Peter Kelly, and we have an assignment, or this week's assignment, so is Deborah, is that we have to do a video for 3 to 5 minutes speaking about something that we're really passionate about. And she said, yes, a live video, because then you can't back out. So that's,
Yeah.
It's too easy to back out or redo it or wait till it's perfect. So who else who was on the call last week who committed to doing a video did a video?
I did mine,
Yes.
which was awesome.
Right
and
on.
I got 2 people were like, hey, I want to know more, tell me more. And so they're in the VIP group. It was really interesting. One of them has connected with me before about Isagenix and not really pursued it. And this time she was all about it. She went in and looked at the group. So yeah, I think it's awesome.
You guys, I cannot tell you enough about how much live video, and I have to push myself to do more of it. It is, it's the bomb. And as far as Facebook algorithms and everything, it's amazing. I'm also learning some other new stuff that I'm going to share with you next week, some great hacks. But I want to invite you to think about something. If you did say you were going to do it and didn't do it, examine why. Like, think about why. And where else is that showing up in your business? Committing to doing something and then maybe not doing it. Because, you had the option even to just do it in the group at first, like in a really, truly safe place. So what's stopping you from doing that? It really is. I mean, let me tell you something, if I may, and correct me if I'm wrong. Paul is a pretty introverted guy. And if Paul can do this, believe me, and live to tell the tale, I think anybody on this call can do it. And you guys, again, it's not about, and we just talked about this tonight too, it's not about the outcome. It's not about the outcome. It's not about who's going to see it or how many people are going to see it. It's just about sharing your message. Mm. So, too bright. Oh, I'm too bright. It's probably this thing. All right. My son came in to adjust the window blinds and everything. So anyway, is anyone willing to share as to, why they didn't or what's stopping them? Because this is your tribe, you guys. This is a safe place.
I'll share. I just don't know what to do. Like, I should do my story, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's holding me back. And Megan was like, Megan said I should just do myself making a shake, which actually is a really good idea, just to get up there and out there.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And
I know.
We need videos like that in the group too. So,
If I can just add to that, Stephanie, 2 things. One, you'd laugh because outside of Isagenix and this Isagenix world, I'm pretty outgoing in terms of talking to people, and somehow you get into this network marketing, you get in your head, and I get introverted. And so it was about pushing myself past my comfort zone. in a way I hadn't before. And second of all, exactly what you said, I'm noticing every time I go on Facebook, the importance of live video or just videos in general. They seem to get more attention, attraction, you name it. So you're absolutely right. Videos make a huge difference.
Yeah, it's true. And you guys, you can't get good at it until you just do it. It's not something you can't practice live video. And believe me, when I did it, my sweaty pits at the end of it, and it came across fun. Just know that you will be nervous and it's going to be like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I going to talk about? But just flow with it. Like Paul said, just pretend you're talking to your friends about something. If Lauren, Raymond, you're posting some really great things, you're reading some great books and you share from that. If you have to read a really cool passage from one of the books that you love or one of those quotes or something, like it doesn't have to be a story. There's lots of things you can post. All right. Thank you for being brave and sharing what kept you stuck. And that's exactly what keeps me from doing more live videos. I'm like, well, what do I talk about? What do people want to hear about? Blah, 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 blah. All that stuff goes on in my head too. Who else would like to share as to what stopped them?
Really?
Stephanie, I'd like to say a piece if I can.
Please. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, I've been away, so I missed last week's call, but I definitely want to go back and see the recording. Hopefully it's posted. I'm kind of out of it right now. But that's a huge thing for me. I don't want to do any kind of live because I had this thing with hearing the way I sound on video and how I sound recorded. So I have this huge block against that. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want, and I got to get out of that. It's all in my head. And I just got to get out of that. And and feel confident and so hopefully I'm going to go back and watch this last week's call and see what you guys were talking about and be brave enough to do that.
Awesome. And yeah, your voice, it's just horrible. Like I almost had to plug the ears.
I know, right?
Please. Maybe we can get your voice changer.
It's my accent.
No, I love your voice. And that's the thing. That's such a big part of what makes you you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to have a voice heard in a written word. That takes a lot of eloquence and a lot of practice. I mean, I think I put it on Facebook, my the voice changer thing from Snapchat, So be silly with it. You have to just be willing to not really care what people think.
Right.
And all our team videos are on youtube.com/The Cleanse Coach. If someone wants to put that in a chat, that'd be great. And then under team trainings, so you can find that in there.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, great. All right, who else is willing to share a victory or a gratitude or why they got stuck on the live video not doing it?
So I'm going to jump in. Today I had a kind of an epiphany day. It's Monday. And I'm about 8 weeks in. June 1st, I started like a 90-day plan. And I was like, holy cow, I'm not where I want to be. So for everybody else, I decided to go half-time in my teaching career to really devote to Isagenix because this is the life that I want. And I just started adding people to my list today. I started calling all my cousins and just putting it out there. And I just had that realization, I'm the only one who can do this, so I better get going and get doing it. They're not going to come to me. So that was kind of my realization, and I just wanted to share with you guys because I think you are my super support group and keep kicking me in the butt to keep going. So that's it.
Absolutely. You know what? I love that. You said something so key, and we're going to get into that a little bit, is that they're not just going to come to you. I mean, yes, that happens to some people. They just are magnets for whatever. But, just making a post on Facebook and sitting back hoping people are going to come knocking on your door or ringing your phone off the hook is not off the hook. I guess they don't go off the hook anymore, do they? I think I just aged myself. But anyway, so that's a very great realization. And James, I saw you unmuted yourself. Did you want to jump out?
Yeah, Deborah, when you were talking, I just wanted to say, actually, when we're done this, you can go back and review it. And it actually was recorded. So you just did a live recording. And your voice is awesome. And actually, what you shared about not wanting to share is a perfect first video.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just do the same thing again, only, post it.
Yeah, it's true. Now, a little tip in case you want to jump ahead and do it without listening to the call is let your friends know you're going to do one. So if you want to say like, hey, tomorrow at, or tonight in half an hour, I'm going to be doing my first ever live and I'm so nervous or whatever. It does get more engagement when you let people know ahead of time. All right. Anyone else before we get into it?
And just quickly to add to what Megan said, Megan, I agree with you 100%. I was sitting down over the weekend and going through some things and had some meetings with some friends of mine about financially where I was, etc. And it was just kind of that kick in the butt that I realized I'm not where I want to be. And so no more excuses, no more whatever it is. Get outside your comfort zone and just go do it already. So that's what I've done.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to do a screen share. So if there's anything else you want to talk about for a sec, James, because it's been a while and it might take me a minute to figure out this monitor thing, or anyone else want to share a gratitude or a win, just give me a sec. You guys remember how this always shows what it's not supposed to show and all that stuff. So, but this time it's going to work perfectly. I know that.
By the way, everybody, thanks again. I know I have reached out to everyone, but for everybody who sent me birthday gratitudes on Friday, a million thanks again for all those. It was amazing. Thank you.
All right. Or so are you guys seeing the preview or seeing just the slide?
Preview as well. See all the different ones at the bottom.
How about now?
Yeah, just the one.
Okay, great. So, hey, well, we already said that. It's Monday, so that's easy. A couple of announcements I want to go through. And again, another gift from Isagenix is free shipping. This is 164 BB or higher on auto ship. Australia and New Zealand has a little bit of a different promotion, so the flyers have both been posted in the VIP group. So just another great opportunity, you guys, to touch base with your guests, touch base with people who have been kind of hemming and hawing, trying to make a decision, and just share your excitement about this kind of thing. And what's right around the corner? Who can tell me?
Celebration.
Yeah, so celebration updates. How many of you have downloaded your celebration app? Did you know there's a celebration app? The app is amazing. We've actually won awards for our apps and for our IT. So make sure you get it because it's a really great way to plan your breakouts. And if you're a science geek, like some people, you want to go to some of the science talks, etc. So this is, if you want to take a screen capture of that, feel free to do so. Breakouts especially, and this is a great thing if you're going, if you're going with team members and there are I haven't looked at these in detail yet, but usually the situation, they do breakouts in a way that we can't go to all of them. So we kind of plan out like, we'll go to one, I'll go to one, and then we compare notes. So make sure you do that. Like, it's great to go to everything together and to sit together, but if it means you're going to miss something, then, and if you have any questions about which breakout you think would be the most beneficial for where you are in your business, I'm certainly happy to talk to you guys about that. Now, if you have your tickets in your back office, make sure that you have also registered for the gala. And if you qualify for the leadership training, it's not an automatic thing. You have to actually register, and the registration is free. And you might be kind of thinking, well, what's the point? I don't qualify for anything with the gala, so I don't know if I want to go. And I really think it's important to be there to celebrate the people who are getting recognized, because someday you might be walking across, or you will be walking across that stage, and don't you want people in the audience cheering you on? So I really think it's important. And look at the host we're going to have. It's going to be so fun, I'm sure. Just thinking about who's going to be hosting it, I think that's pretty cool. So Mario Lopez is joining us in Vegas, and it's a really incredible recognition night. It's the premier recognition of the year, and it really allows us to join together as one team to honor the achievements of our fellow associates. And you'll find out who will be named the 2016 Shooting Stars, Isagenix Man and Woman of the Year, and all kinds of other great awards. It's going to be an Academy Awards style event, so it's going to be one to remember and a great one to take lots of fun pictures at. That's one of the most fun things I have that I do, is look through old celebration pictures. Honestly, it just kind of reminds me of the incredible journey both that we've had and that this company have had. And we get to dress up. You know, we don't get a lot of I certainly don't get a lot of chances to dress up. So here are some of the awards that get recognized. And another one. All right. Now, one of the important things to do really is to set intentions. And that's a really great thing you can do now, even before you get there. So grab maybe, 5 recipe cards or something, or little index cards, and write out some intentions that you want, things you want to achieve or happen or go away with from celebration. So what are some intentions that come to mind now that might, just to get the ball rolling, let's brainstorm a few intentions. And you might have to unmute yourself.
So working on just meeting people as I travel there and travel back, or when I'm there outside of Isagenix. I think getting used to introducing myself, not as a teacher, but as a coach or whatever, it is. But I think that's been a big one for me. So working on that.
That is great. And there's something, I love that. Thank you. There's a really great thing. Remind me when we wrap up this portion to talk about how you can introduce what you do if you do still have a full-time career or a full-time job or primary profession. So that's great. What are some other great intentions? Well, one of mine is always to be really present and to be there and in the room and present to everything that's happening, so that I get everything I'm supposed to get out of celebration. That's one of my intentions.
I'll go. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say to try and keep an open mind and learn something new.
Oh, that's great. Be open. Yes.
I second all those, but also just be on time for everything, or early for everything.
Yes. That's a really great one. Yeah. And another one that just is coming to me is to really be there for whoever needs me. I don't know why that came up, but just that came up. Just to be there for others as well. And a huge one is to have fun, you guys. That's something we definitely want to do, is to have fun. So spend some time on that, really setting your intentions, okay? So, okay, I'm going to jump into some other training now. And this is a really interesting training that I just did recently. And that is that the quality of your business is really as good as the quality of your questions that you ask. And the quality of your life, not just your business. So Are you asking empowering questions or disempowering questions? And that's a really important distinction. So what might be some disempowering questions that someone, not anyone here, of course, but that some humans might be asking themselves?
What's wrong with me?
Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how many times that one pops into my head. Or, why can't I ever get this right? That's another one for me. What other ones?
I don't feel I know enough. Why can't I know more?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. And you know, every one of those disempowering questions can be turned into an empowering question. And in fact, when I do, and that is a big one for me, though, what's wrong with me, I immediately delete it and go, what is right with me? What are all the things that are right with me? What's great about me? And I catch myself. So catching yourself is important. But the questions are really, here are some that are written out. What if maxing out my sender is easier than I thought? Or what if getting to executive is easier than I thought? What if attracting amazing leaders to my team is actually really easy and fun? What if connecting with people is enjoyable? So if you guys want to screen capture that on a Mac, I know it's what is it, Shift Command or Control Command 3? No.
4.
4 or 3 does the whole screen, and 4 if you want to capture. So write out some of the disempowering questions that pop up into your head. You know, why am I always late? Or why can't I ever make myself go to the gym? Or why does that person never want to talk to me when I want to talk to them? Or whatever they are, write them out and then flip them into empowering questions. So also then the next thing, here's another big one, and I don't think it's on the slide, is is it on there? Who do I need to become to get to whatever your goal you're trying to achieve? And here's a really big one. Who do I need to forgive to get to wherever you are? And I don't know if any of you have blaming situations, but it can happen. You know, I'm placed in the wrong place, or my upline isn't doing anything, or my sponsor's not doing anything, or whatever. If there's anyone you're blaming, or you have some discord with anyone, really move on that forgiveness. And maybe the person you have to forgive is actually yourself, right? All right, so solid plan. That is a really important key thing. How many of you actually have a plan and a method of operation? And if you're putting your hands up, I can't see right now, but it's something that I think a lot of people in this business or in this industry kind of just wing it. And, you know, yes, we can fit things into the pockets of our lives, of course, but you have to have a plan of what you're trying to fit into the pockets of your life, if that makes sense. So a planner, I still use actually a paper planner and a paper notebook, even though I do have everything done digitally as well. But that is just really what keeps me on track. I don't have to open my calendar or anything. And planning out the week ahead, planning your week ahead by maybe Sunday night or Monday morning at the latest is really, really important. Color coding is fun. I have that on my digital calendar. So Isogenics events or appointments, etc., are in green. Fitness stuff is in orange. Home stuff is in purple. I have all different colors for networking is in red, so that you can easily see also, you know, are you spending enough time in the key areas that you need to spend time in? And do you have a daily method of operation? That leads us to that. So what is your daily method of operation? A lot of people use the 3x3x3. So, 3 looks per day. So that could be a presentation. It can be having someone watch a video, not just sending it, but making sure they watch it or watching it with them, or inviting people into the group. And again, making sure they watch that video link. It can be a face-to-face, which I still love. It can be a launch party, etc. Phone call. A look isn't sending someone an email with a link or a bunch of links. That's not a look, because email is a one-way communication. Same with a text, unless you're actually communicating back and forth, it can be a one-way communication. So look is when you know that they are actually taking a look or have committed to taking a look at it. Follow-up, 3 follow-ups, and book the follow-up. Don't just say, oh yeah, I'm going to follow up with that person. Let them know when you're going to be reaching out again, so that you create that urgency, and that might give them that extra incentive to actually look at that information, because they know they're going to be hearing from you. 3-way calls are a great way to follow up. And then, of course, 3 coaching, mentoring, or pouring greatness into people on your team. Then comes next is a weekly method of operation. So do you guys plan your week out, or do you just kind of wing it day by day? And log everything. That's the other thing that I still have to really train myself, because I tend to do so much on the fly. I'm texting, I'm calling, I'm emailing, I'm doing things. And sometimes I look at my calendar at the end of the day and I think, gosh, I really didn't get that much done. But when I go back and look at all the stuff I didn't log, I did get a lot done. So log it ahead of time or after the fact, but make sure your calendar is definitely filled up. Recognition, recognize your leaders, cleansers, athletes. And a lot of you guys might think like, well, I don't really have anyone on, I don't have a team. I'm not a leader yet. If you've enrolled one person, then you have someone to recognize, whether it's for an Isagenix accomplishment or that they did, maybe they did a 5K. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Or maybe they got a promotion at work, or maybe they volunteered, whatever. Like, just look for things that you can pour greatness into people about. Maybe they just showed up at a meeting they were supposed to be at, or they were at a Super Saturday, but recognize them. Certainly major milestones, we want to recognize lots and lots and lots. And then, of course, there's administration stuff, cleanse coaching, enrolling people, communicating with people, social media posts, and again, tracking. And cleanse coaching is really a big one. I know a lot of people, and I don't think anyone on our team is like that, but a lot of people kind of think that once they enroll someone, their job ends. And I think that's exactly when things start. That's really when I spent actually, coaching calls are usually really quick, but I just had a person or a new associate call with a new gal yesterday, and I was in tears. Like, we really went there, and she has such huge health goals right now, and I just feel so honored to be part of that journey with her, and to be able to facilitate change in her life that's going to affect her whole family, like really in a big way. So please take that seriously, you guys, and think about how few people nowadays in this high-tech world have high touch in their lives. Somebody who really cares about them and who really shows up and cares about them. Okay. Additional weekly method of operation, calls. Are you plugging into calls? You guys are here, so that's one weekly live call. Maybe there's another live call you can jump on each week. There are lots of calls being published in the Isagenix business. There are Isagenix podcasts you can listen to, etc. And then following a weekly method of operation, do you have your work hours set? How many days a week are you working? Are you trying to jam everything into one day, or are you actually touching your business every day? And definitely take one day off, at the minimum one day. Some people go all out all the time. And that's really not, you don't have to do that. You can have those boundaries. And, once your business kind of starts taking off and you're coaching a lot of people and people need you, you can still have boundaries around what times and what hours, especially for those of you with families and with young kids. It's really important that you also set that family time. Front loading your week, like today was a really busy day. I got a lot accomplished, and I love starting Mondays like that. Most enrollments, I just learned recently, happen Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. So be prepared for that. Those are your production days, right? Thursday doesn't have to be Thursday, but have a date night with your husband, and have a kids night or a family night with your kids for those of you who have kids. And then take time for sure to dream and create ideas and just, meditate, daydream, sit in silence, and that's when some great ideas come. And then, of course, a monthly method of operation. And so pool planning. And if you're not in the bonus pools, I want you to still study them and find out, how close am I? Am I in? Should I be in? How close am I to being in? How many shares do I have? How many shares did I have, or would I have had last month? So a lot of people here are in the bonus pool. So make sure you're on top of that, because there have been times when before I started paying attention to that, where I missed a bonus pool by one cycle, which could have easily, I could have pushed it a little harder, because it cost me a lot of money to not be in that bonus pool. So Team Builders Club, do you look at your reports? Are you checking your blueprints? Who's close? Who's enrolled 3 people in the month, or their first 3, or their first 6 or 7? Make sure you let people know that, and not only know that they can earn that, but also if they've earned it, where to find it, because there are a lot of people who don't see those coupons and they expire. I think they have a 3-month shelf life only. So be on top of that. Oops. Events don't have to be just our events, right? Of course, our Isogenics events are great. GoPro events, personal development events, Tony Robbins, Money Mastery, Money Masters, Peak Potentials, that should be in there. Do whatever personal development you can get to, and get to some sort of event every month. Some sort of event, even if it's a Toastmasters event, a really good networking event, or Chamber of Commerce event. Make sure you get to something. And speaking of Tony Robbins, you guys, if you have Netflix, if you don't have Netflix, I think you can get a free trial. But the Tony Robbins film just came out, I'm Not Your Guru. It's pretty powerful. For those of you who love Tony, I certainly do. Manage your money. Take time to manage your money. And that's a big one too, that we kind of didn't pay attention to at first, for sure. But I ask a lot of people, what are your average cycles? And they don't know. How many times did you cycle last week? They don't know. So that income, that's your income, and you should know all the time how much money you're making a week, a month, a year, how much you've made to date, and be sure that you're setting aside money for taxes. 20% minimum, ideally 30, because it would be nice to have money left over at the end of the year instead of scrambling to pay your taxes. But with all the tax deductions that we have and everything, you might actually get money back. And I think Penny did in her first year. I have no idea why I'm getting so hoarse, you guys. It's very strange. So every next level of your life, I love this, will demand a different version of you. So start thinking about that, and we touched on it earlier in the call, like who do you have to be or become to be, say, a 1-star golden circle, to be a 6-figure earner, to be a great team leader. Spend some time thinking about that, and model the people that you admire, model the people that have achieved what you want to achieve. All right, this week, I would love for everyone to share in our business group a pic of your planner. You don't have to, show details. You can make it a blurry pic or whatever, but just show that you're actually putting things in your planner. Plan out to the very end of the year. Put in all the Isogenics events. Put in, look for local events that are more in the personal development vein kind of events in your local area. ICUs, even if you're not going to it, make sure you have it in your calendar, because maybe your team lives nearby, or you're going to sign up somebody next week who's in a city where an ICU is. So you want to know where these events are across North America or other places if you have a team elsewhere. So next week, as I mentioned, we're going to do some new Facebook training, new hacks and tricks, and reviews of how to set up your ideal Facebook account. All right. Gosh, everyone was so quiet. I thought I maybe lost you guys.
Hey, Steph, can I just jump in and ask a question about something you mentioned there in your slides? For me, I guess one of the things I look back on when I first started with you, and I know it certainly would have helped me, is just from the standpoint of I've never, obviously, this is my first time doing this business, doing this industry, maybe some guidance about the tax side of things. I just feel like completely lost about, where do I save? How do I save receipts? All that kind of stuff. Where would I, if you're starting off somebody new and they have no clue about that kind of thing, the accounting side of it, or what to save, what not to, what would be a good way to train them on that, or, give them advice on who to talk to? Do you understand? You follow?
Yes. So there is, what's the TaxBot? If you Google TaxBot, you don't have to get TaxBot. And if you do want to get TaxBot, get a link from me, because they do have a referral program. But
Okay.
they often have webinars.
Okay.
And it is a US based company, but, and I'm, we have to be very careful of course, I can't be giving tax or accounting advice. I'd be the worst person possible to do that. But certainly mileage, meetings, trips that involve the business, etc. But James, you've been in the industry a lot longer than I have. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I'd say number one, Paul, find an accountant that works with small business people, and particularly if you can find somebody who has clients that are already in the network marketing business.
Okay.
I'm sure if you Googled, Canadian deductions for small business,
Okay.
like I'm sure you could find a list. They're out there. I mean, it's not a secret. And the one thing that Stephanie said, and it was on one of her slides, is log everything. So every time you drive somewhere to meet somebody, when you're running your business, if you've got a regular schedule, keep track of that. Keep your planner. At the end of the year, take your planner, whether it's digital or hard copy. If it's digital, copy the 12 months, file it away with your tax receipts, so that you've got a record of the stuff that you were doing in your business. So if they ever ask, And the other thing is, you could write off all that stuff, and it used to be they got pretty sticky if you weren't showing a really big profit right away, and they've let go of that. So, you don't have to be making a ton of money in this to still have lots of write-offs. You could write off an office. I mean, obviously you're sitting at something to do this call, take a picture of that, put it in the file, So there's lots of things. You can write off deductions from your car, deductions from a home office. Just find a good accountant.
Excellent. Thank you. As I said, go ahead.
I was just going to say about the TaxBot that Stephanie said. I don't know if she's ever used it. I've used it before, and I loved it. Once I got the hang of making sure that I just plugged the information in, because you just plug it in right then. You can either have it track your miles, or you can enter the mileage manually. You can take a picture of your receipts, because a lot of my receipts, they take, you keep them, and by the end of the year, the ink has faded on them. And so it really makes it so easy to have it all. And then you just link it up to your computer, and then you just have everything right there in the hands to give to your accountant, or if you're doing it yourself. However, it really is a good program if you look at it and find it useful. I've used it, and I thought it was good.
So I'll put the link up. Thank you, Penny, for that. And as well, I just found recently an app that somebody in our CEO shared that looks amazing and very simple to use, and it's free as far as keeping track of your receipts and everything as well. So I'll post both of those links.
Stephanie, one other thing. So my brother-in-law's a tax guy, and he's all into. If you get a credit card, only your business on that credit card, because then all your receipts are saved. And then you can go back and pull everything that you spent on that one credit card. So like I just got a Capital One card, so I get 1.5% back on all purchases. That really helps. If you're in the US and you need an accountant, Joe is great. You can message me. I'll put his plug in. But that's the one thing that you could do in Canada is get a credit card.
Okay. No, it's good to know, because I'm just thinking about that duplication aspect. If I'm not sure about it starting off, maybe somebody else has no clue how to get started, how to write things off, whatever else. So perfect.
That's a great question. All right.
Thanks.
I would love to hear some takeaways and questions.
I really loved the reminder about the setting the intentions before getting to celebration. And sometimes I always end up forgetting to do it, just like forgetting to do the live video, which the reason I didn't do mine is because I didn't write it down in my calendar. And I literally know that that's where I'm at right now. I have to write it down or it doesn't get done. So this year, my plan is to get my intentions done before I get on the plane, so that I've really had time to think about them and not just last minute write down stuff, but really, like, I want to do them this week. Actually, that's what I'm going to commit to, is writing them this week, so that I can actually let them saturate and soak in and really get deep in there what the intentions are. So thanks.
I love that. And if anyone's willing to share theirs in the business group to maybe help others get their creative juices flowing, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Penny.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. It's Lauren. I love the disempowering question and the question segment, just because, well, just we're human beings. So I'm constantly asking questions like that every day. So, and when you said you catch yourself and redirect and reform that question to an empowering question, I think is so powerful. So to me, that's going to make me really think about what I ask and be more aware and try to catch it right off the bat and just change it.
I love that. And, you know, I also think that, and this is something, James, you could probably speak more to, that our mind always searches for the answer. So if you're looking for what's wrong, your mind is going to look for it subconsciously even. So if, for example, let's say follow-up is one of your challenging areas, maybe even put up one of those big, I don't know how many of you guys have those big stickies, Post-its, and put on there, why is it so easy for me to follow up with people in a timely fashion, right? Mm-hmm. And your mind will look for the reasons why it is so easy for you. James, you've done some work around this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, you know, the cool thing is our brain is just a computer. You know, like if you have Siri and you ask her a question, I mean, she answers it, not always accurately, but like there's no hesitation, just an answer, right? So our brain is the same. If you say to your brain, why am I not losing weight? You will immediately think of 4 or 5 things immediately. There's no hesitation. Your brain just answers the question. But if you ask your brain, why am I losing weight? Well, it has all the same instant response, 4 or 5 reasons. So, you know, if it's, you know, why am I brilliant at doing follow-ups? Why do I love doing follow-ups? You know, why am I great at asking questions? Why do I want to ask questions? Why do I want to do follow-ups? Those are all really good questions because your brain will just answer them for you. But there's always, you know, the negative side of the question. And unfortunately, I think as human beings, we become more conditioned asking, you know, the question that gives us all the answers we don't actually want to hear in our brain. So just start asking those questions. Like Stephanie said, ask the empowering question. And it makes a world of difference. Every time you catch yourself, just ask the opposite. You know, if you think you're, you know, if you say, why am I not good at network marketing? Well, just stop yourself. Just as soon as the brain starts going to the answer, just say, no. Why am I great at network marketing? So just start asking yourself the questions you actually want to have the answers floating around in your brain.
I think too, you have to really start to believe in yourself too. And that belief just is empowering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree totally. I think the whole James, you talked about the law of attraction a couple different trainings ago, and just the whole notion of focusing on the right things, because that's the kind of thing that expands in your mind, in your mind, in your life. And so I find myself over the last year more and more now, if I find myself going negative, I literally catch myself and say, if I keep talking like this, that part of it's going to expand. So I try to think positively so that positivity expands more.
Or just to be fair to yourself too, just say, I'm struggling with this a little bit, but I know I'm going to get it, and I believe that I'm going to figure it out. And I'm empowered because I have got through that. I've pushed myself through it, and I've grown because now I know what I can do, and I got to where I needed to be, or I got done what I needed to get done, even though it was hard for me to do, and it's empowering.
Yeah. And Paul, a good one for you, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but a good one for you might be, why is it that people are so open to network marketing? Why is it that network marketing is such an accepted profession?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Good. That's good.
Great.
Yeah, start paying attention to the things that are floating around in your head that are not empowering, that are not serving you, and start doing turnarounds. Just turn them around. Whatever it is that's getting in your way. I'm not good enough. I'm the best. People don't want to listen to me. People love listening to me. I don't have time to do this. I have all the time I need to reach my goals. Whatever it is, just start doing turnarounds. Just turn it around. Just think about, what's the turnaround to that? What's the opposite of that? What is it that I actually want? Just keep turning it around and get really good at that. Because it's easy to do. I mean, it's not like it's difficult, but we don't usually do it. We usually sit in the negative. We sit in the disempowering thought. So just get really good at the turnaround.
Yeah.
One thing that along those lines that I've been playing with lately, and so I can't tell you the concrete evidence of how well it's worked, but I can tell you that it makes me feel amazing. And so like when I do that, like if it's like, I don't know what the one you just said was, James. Let's do on time. Like I'm always late or whatever. Like, no, I'm always on time. And then what I do is I go, after I say I'm always on time, then I say, why is it so easy that I'm always on time? And then I say, you're always on time, Penny. And then I go, why is it so easy for you, Penny, to always be on time? And then I go, she is always on time, that Penny. Why is it so easy for her to always be on time? And so it's like, I say it about myself, and then it's like I'm looking in the mirror saying it to myself, and then it's like I'm saying it as if I'm third party, like as if I'm listening to someone else talking about me. And then it's like, wow, I think it about myself. I'm looking at myself and saying it. And then other people are saying it about me too. It's like this covering all the bases. Anyway, it feels really good. And I just started experimenting with it. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That totally put a smile on my face too. And it definitely makes sense. And there are affirmations that I've heard people, that same thing, is say it as in first person and say it to yourself, about yourself, in every possible context. So that's fantastic. Why not? You're just programming that supercomputer up there. All right. Anyone else? Any takeaways, shares, questions?
My takeaway is get the Celebration app.
Yeah. And do a live video. What about that?
Hello, everybody. This is live from Scottsdale, Arizona. Peace out.
Hey, Alan.
That does not count, but nice try, I think. All right, so who's going to do a video, live or otherwise? Lauren?
I'm going to. Penny.
Okay. James, all right. Yay, Leanne.
I can do another one.
Yeah, Why not? You're on a roll. Do one making your shake or something easy like that.
Okay.
But remember what we did say, if you're doing a product one or a shake one or something, we also still want to see your face, not just a blender,
Okay.
canisters and tubes and things. That's how Penny got around doing a video one time. See, she was never on camera. She just at her kitchen. I remember that was a way back.
I started out on camera and then I faded into the focus of
Oh,
the stuff.
It was the editing that did that, did it? Okay, got it. All right, anything, so since I'm going to be preparing a Facebook training for next week, is there anything you guys would like to see or hear from that? Any specifics? If you think of them, post in the business group. Hope to have some kind of new stuff. It was certainly new to me. And I guess we're going to conclude our call early. That's awesome.
Yeah. Before we head off, Steph, I just wanted to say I've been really enjoying the 6-week training. And this week is Michael Klaus and Lynn Hagedorn. And it's a brilliant video. So if you haven't watched it yet, don't miss it this week. It's brilliant.
Give us some highlights. We have a couple of minutes, please.
Let's see. I wrote stuff down. Actually, you know what was really cool was the way they ended it. And they ended it with, how bad do you want it? I thought, well, that's a really good question to ask myself and to ask anybody else. You know, I mean, people get stuck, and that's such a great question. How bad do you want it? You know, really, Lynn Hagedorn said one of her biggest things is to build excitement, and Steph talks about it all the time. But, you know, it's build excitement before the box arrives. Just so people are so over the top, just can hardly wait to get started. And I just think it's way easier if you build it before it even gets there. Like, they don't even have questions yet because they don't have anything. It's just, you can tell them whatever you want, set all the expectations, and get it to the place where they're just, I mean, that box arrives and they're kissing the UPS driver. That was for you, Paul.
What's a really great way? Who can tell me what's a really great way to build that excitement? What's one of the ways?
A three-way call, a welcome call.
Yes, a welcome call before their box ever arrives. And how many times have we done those, Penny? And people are like, oh my God, no, we just can't wait for it to get here. Because you've affirmed their decision. Totally validated what they're doing. They've heard another story to support the proof, their social proof, etc. There are just so many reasons to do those, you guys. And getting them done quickly is key. It really, they're very powerful. That's great. Anything else from that, James?
Yeah, the other thing is, again, is something you've been telling our group forever is really use the new associate interview. Like, it's a brilliant way to follow a system, follow a program, and to get into all of the areas. You know, some of us are better talking about product. Some of us are more excited talking about the business opportunity. But the nice thing about the new associate interview is you go through everything, regardless of sort of your personal favorite. You just go through everything, and then, you know, get people's permission to keep using the information that you discovered from that. So that, you know, when people hit the bumpy road, you've got something to go back to them and say, remember when we talked about this and you said this was your goal, or this is what you wanted to accomplish, or this is what you were up to. So, you know, the more information we have from people, the easier it is for us to keep them heading in the right direction. And, you know, if you don't do a new associate interview, then it's really hard to get the information you really require to keep people steered in the right direction.
That is brilliant. Thank you so much. And I know I've heard Lynn Hagedorn say on stage, you should know the color of their carpet. I mean, that's extreme, but that's how well you should know people.
The color of what?
Their carpet.
Oh.
Which you know, that is a little extreme. I'm not saying add that question to your new associate interview, but it's really get to know your people. Get to know what they love, what their hobbies are, what their hot buttons are, what excites them, all that stuff. It's really, really important. And you know, it's just that, like I said, when I did that call, and I don't want to name any names, but there's a gal on our team who has well over 100 pounds to release that I just enrolled. And I just feel so privileged to be on this journey with her, and that she opened her heart up to me and shared so much about her life with me, you know, and she wouldn't have done that if I hadn't asked her a lot of questions and shown her that I really care and I'm there to support her. So anyway, all right. Well, now we're at the top of the hour. So you guys, thank you for joining as always. Please reach out to your other team members. I'd love to see this call double, and then double again, and then double again. So let's get some more people on it. But thank you so much for investing your time to spend an hour together this week. We love and appreciate you guys so much. And I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Steph.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.